Thank you for having me. My name is Emmanuel Bristol Alagbaria, and I'm the Executive Director, Center for National Economic and Business Development.
As the older brother of the detained Isaac Bristol, who has been in the news for alleged breach of national security, how did you receive the news of your brother's arrest, and have you been allowed to see him or hear his version of the story?
Well, as natural as this, and what is expected from every human and also family member, we received the news of the arrest with great shock and surprise, because on Monday, on Monday that they arrested him on the 5th of August, fourth were together. In fact, we attended a program where we visited a family member too. So suddenly, on the 5th, we didn't hear from him, which is quite unusual. On the 6th, my sister visited where he lodged, and somebody just secretly whispered to her that he has been arrested, and the manager of the hotel never deemed it to look for his family members to let us know. So we started searching for him. We went to, definitely the first port of call is to see the security agencies if it was a legitimate arrest or an act of kidnap, because the people that came on plain clothes, and the way and manner they carried out this arrest, it was kind of laced with some level of unprofessionalism and in a draconian method that could suggest that they are kidnappers or criminals. So we had to visit the police, went to the police headquarters, and we registered our complaint. And they said that we should visit their radio room, so they will send signals across their units, command. And at that radio room I was there, they sent signals, including to the anti-kidnapping unit at Eminokoro. And the result that came was that it was not police that arrested him. At that point, the police also suggested that I should see EFCC and other sister agencies of theirs. So I went to EFCC. As I visited EFCC asked how the method by which he was arrested. When I described that they came on plain clothes with two Lexus RS 350 Jeep SUVs, and he was blindfolded and taken off, arrested, and they zoomed off with him. So they said that is not their style, that they only use two vehicles, either a Hilux or a Hiace bus, and they must adorn their official vest, or they also have a uniform they wear, black and black, but you must see their badge, the official badge, which signifies that and defines the operation and where they're coming from. So the EFCC asked us to check with DSS. Went to DSS. DSS told us that he was not arrested there, and we were surprised. So while we were waiting to register a missing and a kidnapping incident to the police, I had to use, as a comrade, I had to use my internal mechanism within the security agencies to sniff, to know what must have gone wrong. So I was confidentially informed that he is with anti-kidnapping unit at Minokoro. So we went there. And at the Minokoro station, they were surprised when we came there. They were trying to dismiss us, to tell us that he was not here. I told them categorically that we came here on good authority that he is here. When they realized that they cannot push us back, they now owned up. But they told us that he has been taken away to Abuja. That was a signal from the high office of the police command. So he has been moved to Abuja. We said, okay, can we call somebody to ascertain at least a proof of life? A proof of life first. They said we shouldn't worry that from Abuja they will contact us. So we left. Whereas he was still there.
So there was a lie.
So they lied to us. 3 days, that was on the Thursday. On Saturday, that was when we got a call from one officer that identified himself as AY from Abuja. He said that he's calling from NCCC, National Cyber Criminal and blah blah blah. That he's coming from there. That they have with them one Isaac Bristol, and he gave my number, my name as his brother. so that they want to inform the family officially and request from us that if we can provide a lawyer for him so that they can take his statement, that is the procedure. We said, okay, that was around 9 to 10 on Saturday, and we're in Port Harcourt. So we told them that they should give us some time, that we can't come the next day, that we have to mobilize a lawyer and maybe look for an available flight. So the earliest flight we could get at that time was on Wednesday. We got the flight on Wednesday. We mobilized a lawyer from Port Harcourt. Imagine the cost. And we transported the lawyer to Abuja, hotel accommodation, everything. So the lawyer got to Abuja, met with him, informed us that he's alive. Then the lawyer led him through his interrogation and statement and all the rest. In fact, his glasses was not with him. Even when they arrested him, they came, they broke into the decision. There was no prior invitation to him that he is wanted or is needed at the police station. It was like a sudden attack.
A Gestapo move.
Yes. We are citizens, for crying out loud. The police, the security agencies, they were put together for our protection. They cannot be a source of our own nightmare. And whatever thing they do, they have rules, they have ethics. And when you follow those laid down rules, that is when people see you as being professional. But when you break the rule, then you're as guilty as the man that commits a crime. You cannot be enforcing the law at the same time breaking the law. So after they took his statement on Thursday, because after Wednesday they could not take the statement, on Thursday they took the statement. They now said that they ended around 7 in the evening. They promised to resume on Friday, and that they want to get his bank statement of accounts so that they could also interrogate him based on that. That Friday, the lawyer went back to NCCC. They said they could not get that. They could not get a statement, that they will resume next week. The lawyer had to fly down to Port Harcourt. And we made to understand that, and the lawyer told them that whenever you get the statement, inform me, we'll mobilize and come. We made to understand that they started putting pressure on him to make confessional statements. At some point, they were also trying to negotiate with him that if he can cooperate with them and own up of being the PEDOM, that they have their ways and mechanism, how they handle situations, that they could give him soft landing. And we also do believe that when you're trying to enforce the law, you have the latitude of time to have carried out thorough and detailed information. Even if you need to investigate someone's account, they also have the privilege of visiting a court to give them an order for the bank to fashion them with statements of the accounts in the course of the investigation. But can you imagine? This young man was kept from he was detained on the 5th, spent 5th to 10th. He spent about 6 days or so thereabouts in police detention in Port Harcourt on handcuff and on chains.
Without a crime, no charge.
Without a crime.
No warrant.
No warrant of arrest. And in fact, when they arrested him at the hotel premises, the first information they dished out to the people there that they arrested a notorious kidnapper. And he was kept in detention with criminals, notorious kidnappers, assassins, armed robbers, and all. They were all kept in the same cell. For an offense that they have not established. Even the law, in the wisdom of the drafters of the law, they provided that every suspect, that's why they say suspect, even if the person was caught in the scene of crime or in the act of committing that crime, you do not have such powers to pass judgment. You still leave it till a court, not just a court, but a court with competent jurisdiction. So taking it to a court with that jurisdiction also is questionable. So the police arrogated the powers to themselves. They became the judge and the accuser, and also unto themselves. They want to apportion punishment on him without any formal trial. When he was taken on the 10th from detention, the detention cell, he was taken to the airport. He was on handcuff.
Like a criminal.
Like a criminal. People were passing, looking at him. Imagine in an airport, you're seeing somebody with an handcuff. Definitely, you know that it will attract public stare. People were scared. For them to publicly handcuff you that way, it means that you must have been a very dangerous criminal. They took him throughout the process. Initially they kept him at the airport security office. He was there till they announced his flight. And they allowed all the passengers to board. Ordinarily. For the mental well-being of travelers, you're supposed to take him in first. Take him to the back. So people will know psychologically, so they also so they can be safe mentally to enjoy their flight time. But they were all seated, a fully boarded flight, even with the business class passengers. That's when they took him in. He was just walking, everybody was just staring at him. And they were trying to calm, because of the stare, they were trying to calm the passengers that don't worry, we're in control and everything, announcing his appearance as a criminal. They took him to the end. And to our amazement, to our disbelief, he was also left on handcuff throughout the flight time. And I wonder, why should United Nigerian Airlines, the pilot on the 10th 6 p.m. flight, should allow somebody on shackles throughout the flight time? Then it means that it defeats their safety brief. Before the takeoff of every flight, they conduct, even if it is 3-4 minutes, safety brief to the passengers. Even when you're irregular, it's a routine that they must carry out. And they'll let you know, showing you the exit points, informing you on methods to adopt in the case of eventualities or any emergency. They'll also let you know if there's a drop on air pressure, that the oxygen mask will drop from the roof.
How would you even assess it?
That you're expected to assist yourself.
That's what I'm saying.
Even when you have a child, you must assist yourself first before you assist the child. So someone that's on handcuff goes to show that he can never assist himself.
Besides, there wasn't even a document to show if there was a warrant of arrest in the first place.
As at today, they have not shown him, not until when it was made public that somebody has been criminally arrested in the place of being PEDOM. That was when police started running helter-skelter, trying to Photoshop, seek for evidence to back because of the public embarrassment. And they started negotiating with him that he should accept that he's the PEDOM for them to give him soft landing. How can somebody accept that he's PEDOM when he's not PEDOM? So, other comrades, activists, I also want to use this medium to thank Nigerians. Nigerians that came out boldly in the face of this tyranny. In an era where freedom of speech and self-expression is being gagged, is being gagged. In an era where Nigerians and citizens do not have the right for self-expression, where even the rule of law is being trampled on, where the enforcers of the law are the ones breaking the law, Nigerians were so bold and they spoke very loud. It was the pressure from Nigerians and other international agencies and citizens that persuaded and mounted pressure on the government, on the police, to hurriedly take him to court. Initially, they granted him an administrative bail. And the condition was this, that a civil servant with a civil servant of the cadre of level 16, with not just level 16, with a landed property worth about 500 million at the state capital. And if you want to look at the minimum wage and look at facts, that condition is likened to asking for the kidney of a cockroach. How can you expect a civil servant? Any civil servant that could own such property is a public declaration that he's been a criminal. He has all his service to government, he's been stealing. Because even if you work for 70 years, you cannot afford such property. Then the second condition was this, that a businessman that will show his CAC documents, that also show his tax clearance and that, and also own a property worth 500 million naira. A simple boy that is hustling and struggling, where there is a class system, a big distinction between the rich and the poor. Before, when we were in school, in secondary school, we were privileged to meet the poor ones there, and we exchanged and we were friends. But now, today, we have big private schools, so the poor and the rich can never meet again. When we were going to churches, we had the privilege to also worship under the same roof. Now they have their private chapels in their homes, which further expands the gap again, so the rich and the poor can never meet. Before, we were privileged to fly together on the same flight, but now they have their private jets. So which means that you can never meet a rich man, except out of divine providence, that somebody in your family is privileged enough to find himself within the government, or those that have stolen money, that was okay, let me as sacrifice to the family, volunteer my property. So it is a difficult bail condition to meet. So the likes of Dejade Njo and other comrades that stood gallantly behind him, we also thank them. We thank the likes of Atiku, P2B, Amnesty International, everybody that have spoken, just as you're also giving a platform too. We want to thank you. So these are the people that mounted pressure on the government, on the police, and the police hardly took him to court. Now he has been he's been at the Kuje Correctional Facility, waiting the last court sitting. His lawyer applied for a bail, and the court, in the wisdom of the court, that that oral application won't be accepted because of the circumstance of the issue, that it should formally apply. So 23rd was fixed as the date for the next court sitting, but in the wisdom of the court again, they brought it closer again, which is now on the 11th. That is on Wednesday, next tomorrow.
So, sir, having given us that background of the story thus far, you just made it clear that Isaac Bristol is not PEDOM, while there is an allegation that Isaac Bristol is PEDOM. Once again, is Isaac Bristol and the alleged or the supposed PEDOM one and the same person?
Isaac is not PEDOM. But there is something that gives me concern. As Nigerians, we must protect this country. Even if Isaac, but not conceding, is PEDOM, what has the PEDOM done wrong? Initially, I was not a fan of the PEDOM. I've not heard about the PEDOM. As I following the PEDOM, I went through a whole lot that the PEDOM platform, I don't know if it's he or she or they, what they have been doing or what he has been doing or she has been doing. And it is entirely journalistic. It is a noble call and a patriotic assignment that only few can undertake. The PEDOM has been involved in lots of humanitarian activities, using a platform to raise funds for Nigerians whom the government swore to protect their lives and their property, whom the government had abandoned. The PEDOM had raised money several times on different occasions that tend to people that are in health challenges. The PEDOM, in fact, when I investigated further following the platform, that PIDOM is an acronym. The meaning of that PIDOM, PEDOM, is it means people in distress or missing. People in distress or missing. So automatically, the vision is clear that the PEDOM is a humanitarian initiative, is a voluntary initiative, is a sacrificial call and assignment. The PEDOM has been assisting Nigerians, especially the poor and abandoned ones, the ones that their cases and their challenges are not recorded or captured because they are not rich, that suffers kidnap or other security fates. The PEDOM has been the voice behind them, dragging the national attention towards their plight and their challenges. In fact, the PEDOM had even raised money for them to pay ransom online when government abandoned the family. The PEDOM called on Nigerians, where random accounts, people that volunteered. You see random accounts if like as you're in Abuja now and you establish an issue, the PEDOM will ask which person people should go and investigate. When they bring a report publicly, it does all these things publicly or things publicly. Then he will not ask who is going to volunteer for this assignment. Then people volunteer. He will not publish their account numbers for donations, to receive donations, especially the health challenges that they will receive. And as they progress with the program and the project, if it's health projects, the public is saying it. That is why the PEDOM is highly loved online. But the government do not like the PEDOM because the PEDOM exposes the rot, the decadence, the malfeasance in government. So the government should have been grateful to a PEDOM. After all, we have whistleblowing act of policy. Every productive government should protect a whistleblower. If the government doesn't have anything to hide, the only thing that you say burden on national security should even be burden on our technology, on those strategic technology that protects and determine the strength of our country.
Which we don't probably.
That is what people should protect. And if you divulge those technological secrets, then you could say, okay, it's a threat to national, not when people eat money, taxpayers' money. By right, people deserve, and it is a right to know how you spend their money. Why should it be shrouded in secrecy? That is the absurd that today the government, and you say even the random arrest and intimidation of citizens. But one thing I want to let them know that an Emefiele was once freezing people's accounts when he was in government. And there is this popular video that goes this one has been circulated when he said that you want to fight me? You want to fight me? Come, let's fight. Now today, can he fight? Can he fight? Government is like barrack. You only transit through that point. You will not remain there. Even when you decide to be a dictator, want to perpetuate yourself perpetually, God has created death that will forcefully remove you by age or by circumstance. So you must live there, and some other person will determine your fate. Imagine Abacha's family when Tinubu left the country because of the fear of intimidation, arrest, or assassination. And today, he's the one at the saddle, in charge. How Abacha is not alive. If Tinubu decides to use that power now to address
such,
out of anger and grudge, what Abacha's family did to him, what will be their fate? And that's why we need a system that is neutral, so that tomorrow that system can also protect you when you fall at the other side of the divide.
There is this allegation, supposedly, that a certain David Hundeyin, that most Nigerians know, is a persona non grata, supposedly too, and Mike Alade have been mentioned as accomplices of your brother. Have you ever met these entities before? And for the sake of clarity, are they any friends of your brother?
Well, from what I read, the David Hundeyin and Alade They are accomplices to PEDOM. And PEDOM, Isaac is not PEDOM. So he doesn't hold water. They are accomplices to PEDOM, not Isaac.
And
You understand me? Isaac
PEDOM.
is not PEDOM. So that's the position.
Well, it's actually at this point, what are the steps your family is doing? Because, for one, human rights is actually the focus at this point, because his health is of concern because he's a Nigerian. Yet, even until he is charged, he is still a citizen of this country, and he must be treated with the rights of a Nigerian anywhere, anytime, any day. What are the things your family intend to put forward so he can find succor for one, his health, two, food, three, his legal rights to get him back home safe?
Okay, as a family, if you have followed the antecedents of this long episode, these events, you know that when he was in courts, that was the very first time that family members and friends saw him. He had this terrible cough, very terrible cough, and he was not given any medical attention, even when Nigerians were shouting. He was not at all. It was at the correctional facility that I also want to thank the people at the correctional center. They've been professional. They have been professional. I also want to use this medium too. When you see what is good, you should also acknowledge that they are good. And the Minister of Interior, when I went to prisons, he's done fantastic. He's done fantastic job. You could liken the prisons to be like a foreign prison. It's good. It is also for our public image. It was at the prison facility that they gave him medical attention, and at the moment there, I think they've attended to him as a Nigerian. You understand? They've attended to him as a Nigerian, and we want to thank them for it. But we also want to use this medium to, like family, the only thing we can do is to follow the programs and the procedures of the law. We cannot on our own take laws onto our hand and take laws in our hands and try to do anything untoward that's against the law. So the case is in court. The court will look at the facts and the merits of the case and adjudicate on it. If the law finds out that the allegation they're not compelling enough, the court will free him. But we just pray that the court will look beyond the parochial interests of certain individuals, because from all that are played out, it shows that there are superior powers that have convicted him already by their own opinion and their position. And we just pray that the court will be bold enough, the judge will be bold enough in the face of these challenges. The likes of Ife Muputa and others, they were bold enough, even at the military dictatorship government. They spoke truth to power. And it was even their contribution that has protected the judiciary till this time. So the judge, my brother's fate is in his hand. He's the one that will decide. Let him look at the issues and the facts dispassionately and ensure that justice prevails.
As a closing point from you, you made mention of the experience of the current president in the hands of the former military leader of this country. And I would want you to give a final word as to what you, the family member, represent the family member, will want him. Because if such directive is from the higher authority, definitely he is a higher authority over those persons or offices that send those directives. What would be your plea publicly to the Nigerian people, civil societies, to the people alleging to Mr. President as the president of all in this country, as a final word?
Well, I'm a free citizen. I will not appeal to him. You understand me? I'm a free citizen. I have rights. You understand? If you're appealing to him, as I said, that he's doing you a favor. But one thing I want to state clearly, that Mr. President is an old man, and we wish him long life. And he should also know that he has children that he's going to leave behind. The way nobody thought that he was going to be president today, some other person, I can equally be president tomorrow. Let him not destroy the life of another young man. That is almost another young man that is almost at the same age bracket with his own son Sheyi. Because you don't even know the future of this young man. Obasanjo was incarcerated. He came out and became a president. In this country, the current president, what's the name? This African country, that young man is a president, came out from prison and became a president. If people feel so pained in their soul that you've destroyed their life, you cannot also determine how they will react tomorrow in future. So Moshood Abiola was once the richest man. Today, his family, are they as rich as Dangote? This world is unpredictable. But you can only leave a lasting legacy when you follow the path of truth, fairness, equity. So let him ensure that he does what is right. And give Nigerians an outstanding leadership that the annals of history will have a good record for him. Whatever they try to do, naming infrastructure over there with their names and everything, Nigerians will change them. Change those names. The only lasting legacy you can leave, not on infrastructure, but on the hearts of men, that they will say, we once enjoyed a leadership that protected us, a leadership that listens, a leadership that provided for us, a leadership that was accessible by all, a leadership that was fair to all. Let him be fair to Nigerians and let justice prevail. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
What's your name, sir?
Okay, my name is Emmanuel Bristol.
Thank you, sir.